World of Warcraft is at a crossroads. You can play retail where new content keeps coming, but the game feels farther and farther from what made WoW special, or you can play classic where you relive the nostalgia by replaying the same journey through vanilla, the Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King. But there is another option, one that could soon become a reality, and that is Classic Plus. It offers an entirely new path, one where Classic stays true to its roots, while finally delivering new content Classic players have been waiting years for. And what makes this moment different is that for the first time in a long time, WoW might not be forced to choose just one future. Now, one could say that World of Warcraft is struggling with a split identity. It's a game with two very different directions, and no clear path that players can fully agree on. Retail players want constant evolution, Classic players want identity, pacing, and a world that feels grounded. For years, Blizzard has tried to solve this by pushing everything forward through retail, while Classic really only existed in a museum. And it worked for a while, but now we're reaching a point where replaying the past isn't enough, and retail's version of new doesn't resonate with everyone anymore. For years, players have been asking Blizzard for a Classic Plus version of World of Warcraft, even before Season of Discovery. What started as discussion slowly turned into a community-driven waiting room, with content creators such as Will, Ebonheart, and Hammerdance helping keep the conversation alive through videos, speculation, and theory crafting. You even have a new website like the Classic Plus Project. It's clear that players want something new, but new in a way that still feels classic. And yet, despite that demand, an official Classic Plus announcement still feels distant, even after the recent State of Azeroth, where many believed Blizzard was close to revealing something.
I'm really excited to announce that... I guess we'll save that for later.
So Classic Plus remains just out of reach, at least for now. And yeah, Blizzard has definitely been edging us along. But that anticipation, the almost, is exactly what's kept the community watching, speculating, and patiently waiting for the possibility of an evolved classic World of Warcraft. So love it or hate it, when it comes to WoW right now, retail is alive. The story moves forward, the world changes, characters evolve. When you log into retail, you're stepping into something unfinished, something still being written. Classic doesn't have that luxury. Every Classic expansion launch already has an expiration date. We already know what comes next. We already know how the story ends. Even the excitement is scheduled. That doesn't make Classic bad, but it does make it limited. Before we go any further, a quick heads up, if you're looking for a leveling guide or faster optimized XP routes, I've been using Rested XP. There's a link in the description you can check out, and using my link helps support the channel. With that said, let's get back to the video. So Classic has always been about the journey, slower leveling, dangerous zones, meaningful gear, social reliance, and most importantly, a world that doesn't revolve entirely around you. That identity is fragile, and that's why Classic players are so protective of it. Any new content for Classic can't just exist, it has to belong. That's why Classic Plus is such a delicate idea, and also why it's so powerful. Classic Plus is often misunderstood as just Classic with extra stuff, but that undersells it completely. Classic Plus isn't about adding content for the sake of content, it's about restoring something WoW has slowly lost: true discovery. No guides, no optimized routes, no solved metas on day one, just players exploring again. That feeling is rare, and when it exists, it defines eras of WoW. Think back to the first time that you stepped into Azeroth. You didn't know what was efficient, you didn't know what mattered, you didn't even know what was waiting for you. That uncertainty created stories, friendships, rivalries. Classic Plus brings uncertainty back, not by erasing the past, but by building forward from it. That's the difference. One of the most exciting parts of Classic Plus is the idea of Warcraft's unanswered questions. What if zones that only existed as concepts were actually finished? What if certain storylines never ended the way that they did? What if Azeroth evolved but stayed true to what made Classic feel special? Classic Plus doesn't need cosmetic threats, it just needs believable ones. Bandits, factions, regional conflicts, stories rooted in Azeroth itself, not worlds far beyond it. Because the strength of Classic was never about endless expansions or escalation. It was about a grounded world that felt alive, where progression mattered. And the journey itself was the point, not venturing off into other worlds like in TBC or continents like Wrath of the Lich King, and every zone and dungeon in previous lower level zones gets forgotten about. With World of Warcraft being one of the longest running MMOs in gaming, a lot of players didn't quit because they hated WoW, they quit because it stopped feeling new. For years, the game felt stagnant to parts of the community, and many players went looking elsewhere. Some returned to games like OSRS, others waited, sometimes for years, for something that promised a truly fresh MMO experience. But recently, that landscape has started to shift. Blizzard has been shutting down private servers that experimented with Classic Plus style ideas, and at the same time, even major MMO competitors haven't exactly inspired confidence. Projects like Ashes of Creation, or I should now call it Ashes of Deletion, ultimately shut down, leaving a lot of that community right back to where they started. All of this has created a rare moment. Players are restless, the alternatives aren't delivering, and Blizzard still owns the most iconic MMO world that was ever created. If Blizzard wants to reignite World of Warcraft as the top dog MMO once again, the door has never been more open, and Classic Plus might be the key. Now, Classic Plus is risky though, and that's exactly why it matters. Playing it safe means stagnation. Taking risks means growth. Not every idea will land, not every change will be perfect, but stagnation is worse than failure. And Classic Plus is Blizzard's chance to move forward without losing their soul. For almost 2 decades, World of Warcraft has had one future: retail. Classic has lived in the past. Classic Plus could change that. It wouldn't replace retail. It wouldn't erase nostalgia. It would give World of Warcraft 2 things: something it hasn't had in a long time, a second future, and also uncertainty. So let me ask you this. If Blizzard announced Classic Plus tomorrow, would you want them to play it safe by dabbling with specs or dungeons, or take real risks like changing the timeline? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, because if Classic Plus really is coming, this conversation is just getting started.